Good afternoon. Welcome to today's Advisor Forum, Technology and Advising. My name is Ross Hawkins. I'm the Director of the Academic Advising and Transfer Center, and I'm so happy so many of you have joined us today for our final Advisor Forum for the spring 2025 semester. This advisor forum is being recorded and will be posted on the Most State Advising YouTube channel within the next 1 to 2 weeks. So if you know of others in your areas who could benefit from the information that will be shared today, please let them know about the YouTube channel. I also want to mention, since it is our final advisor forum for the spring semester, as a reminder, in order to maintain your Master Advisor certification status for the 25-26 academic year, you do have to have 3 hours of professional development in advising completed by June 30th of this year. Again, if you log into the advisor certification status, the database, and see that you have fewer than 3 hours completed, you can always go to the Most State Advising YouTube channel and watch an advisor forum from the fall 2024 or spring 2025 playlist, and then enter a custom submission training on the certification database, and then that will give you an hour for each of those forms that you watch. So again, please make sure that you're aware of your advisor certification status, because you do have to have those 3 hours completed by June 30th, 2025 in order to maintain Master Advisor certification for the next academic year. Also, before I turn it over to Brian, if you have ideas for a topic for an advisor forum in the fall 2025 semester, you can either go to the webpage where the advisor forums are listed. We have a feature on that webpage where you can submit an idea for a topic, or you can just send me an email. And if you would like to present at an advisor forum in the fall 2025 semester, also send me an email. I love when individuals reach out with an idea and also want to present on that topic. So again, thank you so much for joining us today. I am going to kick it over to Brian Edmond in MIS, who's going to help facilitate today's advisor forum. Brian.
Hey, thank you, Ross. I really appreciate that. We always look forward to having this Zoom meeting every spring or fall. We usually do it once a year. As many of you know, we really value our relationship with the advising community, and we really thank Ross for giving us the opportunity to do this. So I'm going to share my screen. We have a slideshow for you and several other presenters. Can you all see that okay? Okay. So we're just going to go ahead and jump in and get started. We have a lot of stuff to cover today. And I will share these slides afterwards. I'll send them to Ross so he can send them out or post them somewhere so you can look at them. So there's no need to take screenshots unless you just want to. Okay, let's just give you a quick agenda. We're just going to go through a quick introduction. We have 4 topics for you today. We're going to talk about Bear IT for new bears. We're going to go over a quick Brightspace review. We're going to have a TCRP update, and then we're also going to have an Atlas sneak peek. And if you don't know what Atlas is yet, we will get into that at the end. I think you'll be as excited about it as we are. And then we have several news items that I'll kind of go through real quickly. So as Ross said, my name's Brian Edmond. I'm the coordinator of MIS. For those of you who don't know what MIS does, we're the ones who manage a lot of the software like Banner, registration status, advising notes, etc. My analysts and application developers manage those things for you. I will let the other presenters introduce themselves as they come up with their topics. So first we have Bear IT for new bears. Christy, you want to take it away?
Thank you. While I bring up my sharing, and it does look like you, okay, thank you. My name is Christy Otting. I'm the coordinator of user support. I am Brian's peer who manages the team that takes care of all of your hardware and client software needs while you're working in the field. It still is not letting me share, Brian, just saying someone else. There we go. Thank you. I wanted to share with you guys a few of the new sites and some that you may already be familiar with that are helpful to students, especially new students as they're coming on board at Missouri State. If you're seeing my screen now, hopefully. How about if I have to, sorry, as I get used to.
We got it.
Here we go. Bear IT is what we call our site that we want to kind of highlight for all of our new students coming on board. It's also a really good resource for current students as well. You have everything that you need at your fingertips about IT at Missouri State. Information about their login, what's available on My Missouri State and how to customize that portal. There's actually a video there available right from the site. You have links to information about Brightspace, which is really, really helpful for students that are kind of getting used to that system, and lots of other information here. I did want to highlight one of the areas that we get tons of questions on, especially from new students, about what computer should I buy in order to be successful at Missouri State. We actually have a page. Here's what it looks like on our site that gives computer requirements, kind of baseline computer configurations that they can actually print this off and take it to wherever the bookstore or wherever they're going to purchase and say, I need a computer that fits these specs. And this will really help them. Now, again, there, as you know, going to be different specifications if they're in a special program that program will provide to them, but this will help the majority of new students coming on board. There's also handy links here to compatibility check for Brightspace, Zoom, other systems that they may be utilizing right here from that site. That page, this page, the computer requirements page, has also been printed and is in all the SOAR packets. So 2,500 of these are going out to new families and students. So they will have a hard copy of this as well. We're hoping that it really helps answer a lot of the questions that students have. And along the same lines as helping students, Brian's going to show a little bit later about some of the different changes to My Missouri State, but I wanted to highlight one area on there that you all may not use as often, and that's the category called My Account. If you haven't navigated to the My Account category, this is super helpful for students and employees that are have questions about IT or wanting to get some technology assistance. This is where students can go to update their chosen name, links to ask about getting a different email address. It also has links to that Bear IT page. And also, this is my favorite card here because you can live chat with a technician. So right from inside Missouri State, don't really know what's going on. You click on that and that will open up a chat bot with our with my technicians that are over in the computer services help desk. If you just don't want to talk with anybody and want to fill out a form, a lot of students prefer that nowadays. They can actually submit an IT help. You will see there are two different cards that look identical. One is for employees and one is for students. The links look identical, but they actually route different places so that we can help our students quickly with a team that is dedicated just to help them, as opposed to the employees that actually goes to a separate dedicated team for employee issues, since we know that those are different. So all kinds of answers here about printing questions and their Bear Pass card and so forth. So I wanted to highlight that for you. And that is pretty much all the links that I wanted to share. Those are in the slides as well, so that you can refer to them later with the slide presentation.
Okay, thanks, Christy. Can you guys see that again? Okay. Next up, we have a Brightspace review, and I'm going to turn it over to Lacey.
Hi, all. Lacey Geiger. I'm our senior systems analyst, and I run Brightspace. So we're going to talk just a little bit about the Brightspace year in review. Brian, can you advance for me? We ended up someplace a little different. One more. All right. So first off, I just wanted to talk about Brightspace access for everybody. Brightspace access for students and faculty is all fully automated. So that's coming over directly from Banner as people are added to classes as instructor of record. Those are going to get created in Brightspace. We've got that tightened up a little bit. Brian, I think I need to be back one more slide. I'm so sorry. There we go. A lot of staff, however, staff advisors in particular, don't have access automatically at this time. So I wanted to make sure to point out, if you need access, you can go ahead and submit a ticket and I will get that turned around for you largely within one business day. We can get you all set up. What that is going to give you access to is a lot of different resources in Brightspace. But everything on the academic side is as automated as we could make things. So classes are going to be created automatically now. I know many of you remember when you had to go request them for Blackboard. That's all done. We don't do that anymore. Everything gets created, and then faculty have the ability to combine sections and then make those available when they're ready to write within Brightspace itself. Now, next slide, Brian. Thank you. So I wanted to spend a couple of minutes talking about the custom tools that we built. So we have had over 5,700 requests for sandboxes, source courses, and communities within Brightspace. So those are all built through our self-service tools that we've linked right within Brightspace for everybody. The sandboxes and the source courses are more of an academic nature to kind of let you build a template for a course or test a new tool. But I wanted to talk a little bit more about communities. We have over 200 communities in use across the university now, right within Brightspace. So what those are, it's set up just like a class. You have all of the same features. You have discussions. You can email your participants. You really can even set up assignments, though most folks are using it for more like things like the calendar reminders or checklists for new advisees, things like that, that kind of give your students a little bit of those same reminders right in the system that they're already in on a day-to-day basis. So that's why I want to make sure everybody knows how they can get in and get an account if they need one. So we have the course request option lets you generate a community. So by default, it will go ahead and make you the administrator of that community. You can also add individual users if you have, secondary folks that you need to manage things in a limited capacity. Maybe you have somebody that you want to be, like a teaching assistant role. You don't want them to have all the same permissions, a little bit lesser. And then that bulk add users option for communities only is most of how we end up managing these. So that lets you add another enrollment manager, and it also lets you add up to 1,000 participants from their M numbers all at one time. We've built that to be as flexible as possible. Usually people are going to have an Excel list. You can copy and paste it right into the interface. It'll verify that all of your users have accounts, and then it will add them to Brightspace all in one go for you. One of the limitations we have on that is that there is no bulk remove users. Brightspace just doesn't build that as an API for us. So we're looking at ways to be able to automate that for folks. Right now, the best way to deal with that is to submit a ticket and say, hey, I need my user group cleared. I can, as an administrator, clear that for you completely. And then you can enroll a full new set of users from the ground up. It's a little bit strange if you need to keep some users and not others. We need a lot of specifics in order to do that. But we appreciate everybody staying with us through the growing pains. We want to keep supporting everybody as best we can with that. But I think for a lot of users, it's worked out pretty well, especially because we don't tend to have the same kind of coursework that needs to stay with someone. It's more about getting the next semester's alerts So it's a little bit easier to be flexible with that. So I just wanted to kind of put those back on everybody's radar, make sure you knew what kind of self-service stuff was available, especially through the summer as folks are kind of gearing up for fall. I get a lot of, how can we do this type requests? And that's something to dig into. I'm happy to jump into questions here if we've got a few specific ones. I'm so glad the sandboxes are helpful, Christina. That's awesome to hear. Melissa, the LOR is actually not going to be available soon because we are going with the newer tool that will be based off of Media Library. They're changing the naming of that tool and expanding what you can share through there. So we will have more about that coming out through the blog as they make that available to us. I would expect to see more updates on what's coming over the summer. So any other Brightspace questions I can knock out for folks? I kind of wanted to make sure you guys had a little bit of time to ask me whatever might have come up for your areas. Anything about how can I do this thing? I'm happy to take a few minutes. Wonderful. Well, if you think of anything, I think we'll have some time for questions at the end. I'm happy to tag back in and answer anything I can for folks. Thanks for sticking with us.
Thank you, Lacey. And just to remind everybody, we'll share the slides, and at the end of these slides is contact information. If you don't already know how to get a hold of Lacey, it'll be there so you can do that. Okay, so next up is a TCRP update, and for that, I'm going to turn it over to Megan.
Good afternoon. I'm Megan Schiller. I'm the systems analyst supporting both undergraduate admissions and the registrar's office. So many of you are aware, we have been making some changes to TCRP this year. On the next slide, to show those changes, we've put out a help article in the knowledge base. We're continuously updating this as we find out what people have questions about, and as we add features and refine the capabilities. Next slide. We have had some issues in the back end as some back end infrastructure changes have kind of broken some of our tools now and then. So sorry for the frustration. Best way to report that is to go again to help desk like Christy showed. There is a specific ticket just for TCRP. You can see even on the article about how to use TCRP, you can request it from there, or you can just type in TCRP and you will pull up the request TCRP support ticket. And you can tell me about what issue you're having. Next slide. A little bit more about how to use TCRP if you're not as familiar. We did an advisor forum and gave an overview last year, and that recording is available on the MSU Advising YouTube channel. Next slide. As there have been some issues that have cropped up now and then, some of them have been easy fixes, some of them we have had to go back and redo more than once. The legacy system still remains. So you will see on My Missouri State the TCRP system card, but you will also still see the TCRP system legacy card so that you can still access the old system. We have not shut it off. It is still available just in case something isn't working on the 2.0 version. So if you have any questions also, please feel free to reach out and contact me.
And Megan, the legacy system actually updates the same data behind the scenes, right?
Correct.
So
Same
you don't have to do
database.
one and, okay. Okay. Do we have any quick questions for Megan and TCRP?
Now, Brian, I'll just jump in real quick and mention that one of the, there are multiple benefits to the TCRP 2.0. One being advisors are now able to request transfer credit reevaluations on behalf of their advisees. And that was a significant change that Again, Megan referred to it in the previous advisor forum and talked in detail about it. But for those of you who may not have been at that advisor forum and joining us today, I definitely wanted to mention that as an advisor, you can submit a transfer credit reevaluation or a pre-approval request on behalf of your student.
Thank you, Ross.
Yeah.
Okay. We will move on to the next topic. I'll just give you a quick introduction to it and then turn it over to Melissa. Atlas is basically our application that will replace a lot of the student applications that you have, advisee lists, advisee notes, registration status, etc. This is a new project that we're working on that will hopefully be ready for campus use sometime in the fall of this year. And I thought this would be a good opportunity for us just to kind of give you a sneak peek of what it's going to be about. So I'm going to turn it over to Melissa.
Hi, everybody. I am Melissa Warren, and I am a systems analyst in computer services, and I support the graduate college, college of ed, dual credit, as well as a lot of the advising focused applications. And as some of you might know or might not know, just to kind of take a few steps back, obviously, we are all here to support students reach their goals, improving graduation rates, improving year-to-year persistence among our students is a big goal and a priority for the university. And last year, we looked at how technology could support that. And we had some third-party software vendors come in, demo their applications for us. And while they had a lot of great bells and whistles, I think the group that was reviewing these decided, yes, but they are not built specifically for our workflow and our processes and our students. And when you go with the third-party tool, you're kind of at the mercy of what they can or will provide. And you don't have the same options for customization that we do for building applications in-house. So a decision was made that we were going to develop this software in-house and try to take what we already have and look at ways to improve it to help you guys support students to reach their goals and improve your workflows and communication among the groups. So we are calling it Atlas. Atlas seemed kind of fitting because it's a roadmap, it's a pathway, and it's also an information source. And we all know here in higher ed, we love acronyms. So we just came up with the acronym Advising Toolkit for Learning and Academic Success. So it encompasses academic student success and advising kind of all in one, because we're looking for a broader scope that we can all help support the students. You can go ahead and go to the next slide there. Some of our principles that we really wanted to accomplish with this software was, to take what we already have, what is good and familiar and helpful to you guys, and then enhance it and make it better to improve, our efficiency and how we are communicating with students. We are also looking to have a better and more seamless integration with West Plains, for them to be able to have the resources that the main campus has, that they don't always necessarily get in the past. We really wanted to be able to provide this to them as well. And also for those West Plains students transitioning to hopefully make that communication and transfer between our campuses a little bit more seamless for them. And so we are basically taking advising notes, advisee list, and looking to enhance what we already have and make it better and more helpful to you all. Throughout this process, we will be reviewing that and seeking feedback from the campus community to say, are we achieving our goals? Can we enhance what we're already doing and making it better? And this will be an iterative process. So it will start at one place, but over the coming months and years, we are going to continue to look for ways to improve it. And yeah, you can go ahead and switch, Brian. We have a really great steering team. Obviously, Brian and I have a perspective from the technology side and from the university side, but we wanted to bring in some people from lots of different groups to help guide us. There's a lot of things that you guys do every day that we wouldn't know about or consider. So we put together this steering team. You can see the names there. We've got representatives from various areas and departments. We are really relying on them to help us make this a useful tool for you all. And in turn, you know, as you look at this list, they are your contact points for your feedback at this point as well. So if you have, you know, ideas, needs, things that you really want to see, reach out to these people, help us make it better as we build it going along. Okay, so I just put a few little screenshots in here. This is very much still in development, but what you will see here is we have, for the first time, basically an equivalent to our advisee list and our advisee notes all in one platform that we can pretty seamlessly switch back and forth from. So we've got two tabs, the student lists, and that's more like what you're accustomed to in your advisee list. You can filter, you can sort, email students from there. And then your student details is more equivalent to our current advisee notes. This page that we're looking at right now, you've got a sidebar navigation with a lot of different stuff in it. I didn't bring all of them in here because I would take up the entire time. But the student profile is going to be just the most vital, important information, the quick glance, the stuff that you guys want to see the quickest, most often. And then from there, we've got other areas all within the same application where you can go ahead and switch to the next screen there, right? You can write notes and grant releases in our actions tab. We are going to have some additional kinds of notes because we're hoping to bring more support services into this to help the student be communicated with, but also to help you all know. So the left hand kind of knows what the right hand is doing. So if the Career Center is advising a student to apply for an internship at a certain place, or financial aid is needing something from a student, then you as the advisor can be informed on that and help provide that unified message to your advisees. You could go ahead and go to the next one. Academic changes is something familiar, but it's kind of also in a new way, where we currently have in our advisee notes the future term column, where you can see if a student has a new advisor or a new degree program in a future term. This is similar to that, but it also goes back. It will tell you if an advisor has been changed. It will tell you if they've changed programs, if they've been awarded degrees, also past focus as well as future focus. So you can kind of see the timeline and history of the student's academic career here. Go ahead, Brian. Academic indicators. We have a few of these data points on our main profile page. They're current, overall, and MSU GPA, but this is going to provide you more details. So it will have all their GPA history for the different levels, as well as where applicable, some major GPAs and professional education GPAs. A history of their academic standing for each semester, as well as, you know, when you have your source students come through, you'll have a quick, easy view to see what math and English they can be placed in. This is just a brief snapshot of what our advisee list kind of equivalent looks at. It's basically going to be similar. As we go forward, I hope we will have some time to do some enhancements, add some new queries. we did recently, aside from this, add the sequenced registration date, which you guys can see now, where you can filter by a sequenced registration date, sort by that. You'll be able to email your advisee list from here as well. And the one really nice thing that I think you guys will enjoy about this is when you have your advisee list up, you can click on any row there and immediately be taken to their student detail, where you can see all and switch back and forth without those refreshing. So you can really work your list without having 15 different pages open or anything like that. So I think that that will be something that you guys will get a lot of benefit out of. If you can go ahead, Brian. So where we're kind of at in the timeline, we just turned our alpha very, very early testing release over to our steering committee. They are looking at that now. We still have a lot of changes and improvements to make, but they are starting to look at that and help us make it better. That it just happened this last week. We hope to have our steering committee and a few limited users actually using the application in production during the summer, and help us work out any kinks and make those necessary improvements. And then we are looking to roll it out campus-wide this fall for all of you to be available, have it available for use. But one thing that will be nice, just like we did with TCRP, we will be running the old systems and the new systems concurrently for a period. I am probably like many of you that change is frustrating and hard, and especially when you are so busy and you just want to do what you know how to do and don't have time to find a new way of doing it. You guys will be able to kind of dip your toe in the water and use the new system. And it will be, if you write a note in the new system or the old system, it will be reflected in both under that student's notes. So you guys will be able to jump in, help us make it better throughout the fall, and have hopefully a really good system that will really support you guys by the time, you know, we retire your old applications that you're comfortable and familiar with. As I'd mentioned, we do have the steering committee. Once we go to prod, once we release it to everyone, we will have a suggestion box, comment form available that you guys can submit your, you know, suggestions or needs for improvement there. But during the interim, if you have something really important that you'd really like to see, feel free to reach out to anybody on the steering committee and help us get that information that way. Let's see.
We have one question, Melissa.
Okay. The test scores. How is the compliance documents produced? Compliance. Okay, so you mean like the FBI and insurance and that kind of stuff?
Yes, that's exactly what I mean.
Okay, so that is contained right now within your College of Ed dashboard. We will have the test scores there available. We'll still have those links available for others. Maybe in a future iteration of it, we could put some of those within the application. But those will be still available where they are right now. And you will see the test scores there as well.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Melissa. We'll have time for more questions at the end, I think, after we go through the rest of this. And you'll be hearing a lot more about this in the coming days. As you could tell from the steering committee, Ross is on the steering committee, and he is very active in testing this and designing it and everything else. So we're super excited about it. Melissa, you know, as she said, there's going to be the legacy version, the classic version, as well as the new version. It's our goal that the new version is going to work so well that you'll want to go there instead, but we'll see how that works out. Okay. So there's quite a bit of IT news that I wanted to share with you all as the end part of this presentation. Most of this stuff will not affect you directly, but we are relying on you to kind of be ambassadors back to your different departments and areas. And a lot of this stuff, the more information we get out, the better off we all are. So first of all, Christy had alluded to this earlier on in the presentation. If you sign on to My Missouri State, you'll notice a change, which is basically these categories or tabs at the top, which kind of can help you narrow down the cards that you can use more quickly than just doing a search. This is live and has been alive, I think, for a week or two, so it hasn't been out there long. So pay attention to that when you sign into My Missouri State. Another thing that's going to be a big change for everybody is self-service banner 8, or what we call SSB 8, will go out of support in October 1st of this year. And basically, when something goes out of support, it means that we really can't run it anymore because it doesn't get security updates. And if it doesn't get security updates, then any kind of vulnerabilities can be exploited. And we just don't even want to be in that situation at all. So we will turn it off. And for those of you who don't understand the SSB 8 terminology, basically the student information menu in the middle, which I know you all are familiar with, is basically SSB 8. That menu basically, and all of the other applications that look similar to that are all SSB 8, and they will be going away on October 1st. Megan actually is working very closely with the registrar's office to find equivalents into what we call self-service 9 applications. And if you look on the right-hand side, most of you are familiar with the look and feel of these applications. These are both self-service 9 applications. One is the employee dashboard, which many of you, if not all of you, have seen. And then the student profile is one that we don't have out there yet that we will be having out there for you pretty soon. These will work in conjunction with Atlas when we release it, and the other custom applications that we have created for you all. Those will all still be available. And I'll show you how to tell those later on. Some of you know about the renovation that's happening in Cheek Hall. We are being renovated with a heavy demolition and a rebuild of basically the first and second floor. All of MIS, user support, and networking have been moved to new areas. If you have ever visited us back in the cave, the MIS cave, where we used to be, we are not there anymore. Instead, we've moved into the old student computing lab in Cheek. And you can see a couple of the pictures here on the bottom of kind of where we're camped out. It looks more like an old style police room or a newsroom or whatever, where everybody's just sitting everywhere. There's very few cubicles. We're just kind of out in the open. So far, we're just adjusting to this. We just moved in just a week or two ago, so we're still kind of adjusting with how things will work. If you're in Cheek and you want to check it out, come by and visit. We're behind a card reader, so you'll have to visit with our admin, Nicole Muse, to get in, or just holler at one of us and we can kind of give you a tour around. We're making it our own. And there's a new user support suite that I'll let Christy talk about.
Yeah, user support was one of the first ones that kind of got booted out of Cheek Hall in order to make room for the renovation and for MIS to move into that space. This is a permanent move. So unlike others that are kind of in temporary statuses, user support has a brand new home that's on the first floor of the Meyer Library back in the back of the open access computer lab there. So you'll see the new glass doors that will welcome you into the suite and some of the offices that we have there. It's a really nice space and we're real happy to have this, especially since this will centralize all of the user support assistance within the Meyer Library. So already my help desk team has already been there, as well as our labs and student computing team. So this kind of completes the whole user support experience, having the client services team there as well. If you have any kind of hardware issues or you have an appointment with one of the technicians, this is where it will take place if they're not coming to your office. If they say, come here, it'll be the first floor of Meyer Library, and it's a really nice space. We will be having some kind of an open house event, I think, along in conjunction with other new areas within the library. I know a lot of other new offices have been moving into the library to make a nice central hub of support for students and employees as well.
Okay, thanks, Christy. It is really, really a beautiful space. So, and as she said, there'll be an open house pretty soon, so watch the news for that. Another thing you'll see coming up is starting in June 2025, date of birth and social security number will be removed by default on all admin banner screens. And if you look here on the right, if you don't recognize that screen, you're not affected. But if you do, then this will be something that you will have to deal with at some point if you need the date of birth and social security number to do work in your office. This will be announced in My Missouri State, Inside Missouri State, and the Information Services blog, which I'll show you in a minute. But basically, there will be a process where you will go in and say, hey, I need to see this information in Admin Banner in order to do my work. Basically, we will just have your supervisor go into this process and request that access for you. It's a very easy, intuitive process. It's only set up in test right now, but it'll soon be announced in production. I've had to do it for my analysts. It was super easy and intuitive. It won't be a problem, but what I need from you all is to help us get the word out, especially to your administrative staff. We have a lot of the folks in Carrington, we have direct lines of communication to, but as you all know, a lot of the departments and colleges are fairly decentralized, and we don't know everybody who might need this information. So please kind of get that information out there. Let them know what's happening. Let them know to watch My Missouri State for the information inside Missouri State. It'll all be announced in there. And in the Information Services blog, which is a segue into that, we basically have two blogs that we keep updated. One is the Information Services blog, where this will be posted when it's ready for you all to fill that out. And there's also Information Services notifications and outages. You can go into each of these blogs, and I'll have the URLs at the end of the presentation, and subscribe to them so that when there are new items that get posted to the blog, you'll get an email about it. When unexpected outages happen and planned outages, we try to go in and get stuff in those blogs as quick as we can. So if you see some kind of weird behavior, you can go check there, or you can look in your email for an announcement for it, and then you know what's going on. Or if you don't see anything, contact the help desk or whatever to find out what's going on. A few other items that I kind of wanted to mention to you. We are working on a process to formalize our hardware and software purchases. I know some of you have been involved, and especially some of the bigger software purchases. And what we want to do is kind of get this formalized so everybody who needs to know and be involved in it are a part of that process. Hardware is under the same kind of review. Christy is working on that process as well. Both of these things in Central IT, we've been wanting to formalize better and kind of get it into a workflow where people are notified at the appropriate times, and there's actually a chance for people to approve whatever steps that they're involved in. Another thing that we're doing that is a little bit of geek speak, but I kind of wanted to let you guys know what's going on, is we are actively migrating our custom web applications from a technology called Grails, which you may have heard of, to something called Django. And both of these are basically web development platforms that we use to create the custom web applications for you all. One way you can tell that web application is custom is you'll see up in the top right, this designed by computer services. All of our custom web applications have that at the top right. If you see that, that is code that we created specifically for Missouri State that no other vendor or other school gives to us. So what does it mean to you to do this migration? Basically, if we do it well, you won't notice anything. What we will do is take the old applications and basically rewrite them in the new interface. And then the analysts who are in charge of those applications will test them. They'll turn them over to the folks who own them. In your case, it'll be Ross and his folks and Nathan Hoff in the registrar's office and a few others. Once they approve them, they'll go out to production. When you click on the link, if you pay attention, you'll see that the URL is different, but everything else should be the same or very similar. So hopefully you won't notice anything, but that will be coming over the next several years. We hope to be completely off of Grails, the old technology, within 3 years. But things happen. We don't know exactly when that date will be, but that will be happening ongoing from now on. So you may notice that or hear talk about how that's going on. Another thing that we've recently done is we purchased a new tool called iPass, and it is actually a module related to Team Dynamics, which is what we all use for a ticketing system that goes to the help desk. iPass is just an acronym, of course, that helps us automate processes between a lot of different systems. And this is going to be the basis for us redesigning the computer account management process. We're going to burn it down and build it from the ground up. Many of you have been involved with or have been involved yourself or worked with students or faculty or new staff who have come in and really had a frustrating experience with trying to get their computer account set up. Christy has been a tireless advocate for making this better. We've worked on it internally. We've made it a lot better, but it still has a lot of work, a lot of place to go. So this tool will help us get going on that. This is something we just purchased. We're just now getting our feet wet with it. The good thing about this that we've kind of looked at more is that it does have the potential to be a workflow engine for the campus, a form creating engine for the campus, and also be able to actually hook into these other systems. For example, here, Office 365, Teams, DocuSign, Banner, Oracle, which is our database, and many, many other things that we can actually automate. So we're excited about getting started with this. You may hear more about this, especially in the coming year, as we kind of get closer to figuring out what we can do with this thing. So that's what we have for you today. Again, thank you very much for attending. And here is the contact information in the blog websites that you can go to. And again, I remind you that I'm going to share this with Ross and he can send it out to you all to look at this stuff directly without having to type it in. So thank you very much. Does anybody have any questions or comments?
Okay, well, while we give people maybe just another minute to think of questions, Brian, I just want to say on behalf of everyone joining us today on Zoom, we really appreciate all you and your team members do to support us in advising. We know that we really have something special with you all. I know I say it frequently when we have these advisor forums, but again, I'm going to continue to say it because the relationship that the advising community has with MIS is unique. It's wonderful. And so thank you for always listening and be willing to take into consideration our ideas to make our jobs easier and better.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said at the beginning, we value that relationship too. And at the end of the day, we're here to help the students. So we get that, and that's what we want to do too.
Okay, any questions for Brian and his team? Okay, well, you all, I will make sure that you receive the copy of the PowerPoint presentation where the contact information's in there in case you think of questions after today. Otherwise, thank you for being here today, and I look forward to seeing many of you in the fall semester when we begin our advisor forum series. Enjoy summer and take care. Bye.